Okay, here we are with the complete part 4. I had to divert a little bit in part 3B, was taking off the left driver or rider foot peg. And you can see it's pretty involved, 5 different bolts, spacers and items like that, because you cannot get to this bolt without taking the rear engine mount off, and that just happens to be a 11/16, nope, I believe it's 3/4, yeah, 3/4 inch bolt. So got that off. Also on the left hand side, I took all the bolts out for the rear engine mount, which goes along the frame here, and just by reaching in with a 3/4 inch bolt, I was able to take off the right rider foot peg, get it out of the way, because I'm sure eventually we'll need to remove it. So to give me some working room to pop off the primary, see what we got going on in there, I'm going to go ahead and remove the brake pedal. One of the other videos I saw, somebody just relieved all the tension on the rear brake. But what I've got, you might see right over here, I've got a puller, and it's on the rotating shaft for the rear brake, and it was on there very loosely, but it's just tight enough though that I needed the puller. So once I got it adjusted, I can actually just run it out now with my hand there, pop the puller off. And it's just one of these very simple adjustable pulley pullers. That's very nice. Got that off of there. I'll jump around here. It's on a spline shaft. You have adjustment points for the actual brake light and how far you want the brake to go back. One thing I'll do is I'll put the retaining bolt for the clamp back on there. That way everything stays together nice and neat. So to take the primary cover off, one of the interesting things again about the 1969 shop manual, it doesn't say anything about disengaging the clutch cable. So what I do is I use a #1 Phillips. I don't have one of the high-speed impact Phillips, but I use a pair of adjustable pliers, or a very simple pair just like this with a #1 Phillips. You can see this is also my paint stir, multi-purpose. But I'll jump in here, and what I do by pressing inward, applying pressure and then rotating with the crescent wrench, I don't have to use just the grip of my hand. I can do this. One interesting thing will be when I put this back together, I'm going to double check all the torque specs. I'm going to have to figure out how you can get an accurate torque setting with these Phillips head bolts. So we'll yank this off of here and see what we've got inside. Even though I polished this side, I have never had this cover off to see what the clutch looked like. No, we're not wanting to come off very easily there. Let's see if I can use that as a pry tool. I don't want to mar up the surface at all. I do have a flat tip screwdriver. Just kind of, that's not going to get it there. Let me get a very fine flat tip or a paint scraper. Just happen to have one here. Paint scraper, I can get in there nice and neat, and if I do mar it, I'll have a lot more polishing in my future. So I'll just, there we go. Ooh, you can tell that's never been apart before. I'm gonna grab a shop towel to help clean that up. That is going to be quite a mess. Looks like there's a lot of debris in there as well. We got some discolored fluid, possibly a lot of clutch material. If this was a water-cooled engine, it almost looks like it might have water in there. That is a lot of material, and I can feel it. It's real gritty in there as well. Looks something big. It feels like it's part of one of the rubber shock absorbers. It was soft to the touch, but now it feels almost like pebbles in there. So I'm going to set that back down there and let that soak in some wonderful oil. grab myself one of these handy pig blankets, because that will help with the oil. I'll clean everything up later. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and try and disengage the clutch cable, because I don't want to pop off this primary and have the cable hanging all over the place and possibly scratch this anymore. So I've never looked in here. I have loosened up the clutch cable all the way up at the handlebar. And let's see. Don't see a very obvious way to disengage that. So we'll throw a little light on it here. Okay, I can see down in there, there's obviously a way to disengage that. For right now, it does not appear to be incredibly intuitive. Let me see if I can lift up on the clutch at all, relieve some tension on it. I can move it. I'm not sure how that cable is going to disengage from the clutch mechanism itself. I'll look again in the manual, or even look and see if there's another YouTube video out there. Kind of pried it up with that large flat tip. What I'll do is I'll probably just go ahead and pull the clutch cable off all the way up to the handlebars, and that way I can at least take this side cover off. But for now, that was kind of like part 4A, just taking off the clutch cover, doing some initial investigation. Oh, and there's chunks of metal right there too. That is not going to be good. One interesting thing about this engine, compared to all the Harley Davidsons that I've had, is the primary drive and also the transmission. Oh, correction, just the primary drive is fed by engine oil. Actually, the engine oil pump is right inside here behind the primary cover. I will be replacing the engine oil pump regardless of its condition. So that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and do some cleanup, jump on the internet, do some research, try and figure out how to disengage this cable in an efficient manner, and we'll be back for part 4B.